Have you ever delivered a project at the very last minute and maybe failed? I have a story where I struggled a lot with a project. But before I begin, let me give you a simplified sample of my work. Excuse me, sir, your name?
Michael?
Michael is my client, and he comes to me to create a website for his company. I then take all the info from Michael and convey it to my developer in India to create the website. Now, since I must work with an Indian developing company, it has always been difficult for me to convey the requirements from client to developer who is also based in India. From here on end, let's call my developer as Mr. Alf. There was a new upcoming company which was expected to work with us in 3 months, where I was to present our online product which they were interested in. It was a good meeting and both sides were mutually happy, but there was one person who did not share the same happiness. Can you guess who it was?
You.
Yes, it was me. Because there were many requests during this meeting by the client which they expected me to deliver on. And it is not really difficult for me to say, no, this cannot be done. But this was one of the world's biggest multinational company. I had no choice but to accept their feedback and have it implemented. So I immediately started to work on their request and talking to Mr. Alf, and before I knew it, there was only 1 month left. Everything was going smooth, despite some issues, where I had to keep on following up with Mr. Alf. And another important point to note is that the end product was expected to be presented to the client, both English and Turkish, for 5 consecutive days, plus a WebEx session. Seems fun, right? So, the day of judgment for me is on Monday, and I'm checking the final updates 2 days before, on Friday, and noticed a major defect in the project which could potentially derail the entire effort. And this Friday was spent on trying to approach Mr. Alf, but as usual he was unreachable. I texted an email. Later in the evening I received a text from him saying, I was busy in the meetings the whole day. And I started to tell him about the issue, and he goes like, tomorrow please, I need to leave now. And right after, he left. He simply left. I was like, what was I to do? So I slept on it. Saturday morning, I was ready to sacrifice my weekend. Due to the time difference between India and Istanbul, India being a few hours ahead, Mr. Alf had already been working on it. And by the time he resolved the issue, it was almost end of business for them. So the actual corrections couldn't be uploaded on the live website. Mr. Alf had to leave again, regardless of me literally begging him to have the changes implemented on the live website. He left again. It is Monday early in the AM. I woke up to talk with Mr. Alf, of course, to remind for live site updates. He wasn't there as usual. I texted and emailed, and after 5 minutes, he responds, okay, we'll start now, and it will take 1 hour for the implementation. I had breakfast, and in the meantime was checking the website if it was updated. And it is 9 AM. The presentation starts at 10. I am on my way to the client's office with no sign of changes on the live website. I have now reached the client's office, and I see my boss in front of hundreds of employees introducing our Titanic, which I was about to sink single-handedly. It is now my turn. Just as I'm walking towards the podium to fake a heart attack, I click on the refresh button for the last time. And I'm still with the same company.